Let's go to the Australian capital and speak to Sanjaya Senanayake. He's an Associate Professor of Medicine and Infectious Diseases at Australian National University. Doc, good to have you with us. We are seeing quite a turnaround from Australia's Prime Minister Scott Morrison on how to deal with the coronavirus. He's today talking about having to learn to live with the virus. And of course, Australia is one of the countries that had some of the tightest restrictions in the world. So how are officials there looking at going about how to live with this virus, especially now with the new variant?
Yes, look, thank you for having me. You're quite right. I think at the start, like many countries, Australia was a COVID zero zone. But with Delta a few months ago, its arrival led to the realization that it's just not possible to keep COVID out of our society. I mean, there are some places like China, which are trying to do so, but we think it's not going to be the case. And add to that the fact that we had a very slow vaccine rollout here in Australia, but now we've got around 88% of the population aged over 12 who've received 2 doses of vaccine. And we are looking at a highly vaccinated population dealing with Delta. And we were quite comfortable with that. Of course, you have raised a very pertinent issue. How is Omicron going to fit into all this? And will it change things? We're hoping it won't, but of course we'll be looking to places like South Africa and the UK, where there are burgeoning numbers of Omicron, to understand where we're placed.
There seems to be quite a disconnect around the world, though. Australia easing restrictions somewhat because, as you've just mentioned, 88% of the population over 12 fully vaccinated. South Africa has also not tightened restrictions and numbers are just going up there. Early data, though, from South Africa is showing that while Omicron is very transmissible, it doesn't seem to be as severe as we've seen with other variants. However, in Europe and the UK, it's a different picture. They are enforcing more restrictions. Which is the right way to go here? Or is it all dependent on what's happening in individual countries?
I think to some extent it's all dependent on what's happening in different countries. I mean, for example, you mentioned 2 European countries. They're in the northern hemisphere. It's their winter, and SARS-CoV-2, the cause of COVID, behaves like a typical respiratory virus. It tends to be a lot worse in winter. And prior to Omicron's emergence in the northern hemisphere, in the UK, they were already having problems with large numbers of Delta. So I think you have to just cater it to your current situation, be it your climate, your vaccination rate, etc. And of course, who knows when the next variant will come?
Okay, Sanjaya Senanayake, thank you so much. We're going to have to leave it there for now.